male student against touching her breast. Now, she alleged that he defied the warning and then did it again during the exercise. So she was irritated by what she described as disrespect, and then she picked up a machete and then slashed the boy's inner wrist. Now, the parents of the injured victim have accused the school authorities over negligence to attend to the award after the injury. Speaking to the family of the victim, the elder sister said the school was negligent after the attack, and then he said a female colleague inflicted a machete wound on him while they were playing. And
so the female inflicted the wound on the male?
On the male, yeah, yes. Because he was fondling her breast. Sexual harassment. Unnecessary.
I agree, but the resort to violent tendencies...
No, but the point is that was the language the gentleman was awaiting to hear.
No,
because stop it. And, you know...
No means no.
We should be careful not to...
Yes.
No means no, but it also does not justify any form of violence.
Yes, that's the point I'm making about the slashing. It's a bit, I don't know.
The school authorities, why didn't she escalate?
Relative says that he wrapped his arm around her neck and mistakenly touched her breast.
Oh. How can that be? Because the lady said, I repeatedly cautioned you to stop fondling my breasts. It was not an accident. How can an accident just result in me slashing you? It doesn't make sense.
For me, here's why I think the account or the versions are separate. One person obviously will say there was incessant sexual harassment. The other will seek to suggest, no, it wasn't in the manner in which you... Because humans, when things happen, they are tempted
what did
to
the boy say? What did the boy himself?
So the boy is in the hospital, so he
has not spoken.
For me, when all is said and done, is the use of a machete.
Yeah, you can't control people's anger. So don't.
If you say you can't control people's anger, there'll be just
justification to do. The point is that because you can't control people's anger,
don't make them angry.
Don't wake them up.
No, I agree 100%. When around this table we say, I mean, non-consensual is non-consensual. I mean, you shouldn't go about touching people inappropriately, right? That's fair. But also we can condemn that, and we can say you can't killing a fly with a sledgehammer sometimes is excessive. That's the only point. That's only because for students slashing, I mean cutlass, and that being what comes to mind is why I find it a bit problematic. I mean, yes, you can.
I'm not saying she was right.
No, I'm not even talking about slap, but to slash somebody's hands, you can report the person and the person will be dealt with, amongst other things. I mean, there should be appropriate means to deal with.
To this lady, if the machete killed the boy.
Yes, but I think we also need to be pretty cautious here. What it is that we are hearing slash. It is possible maybe it was not a slash.
And just a slight cut.
Maybe it was just,
No, they say he's in severe condition.
A machete. What was the machete doing in her hand?
No, clean up exercise. So, we go to SHS, there are cutlasses, you weed, all of those things. So, I mean, we were weeding in SHS. I had a shoulder problem, so I stopped weeding after a while.
Well, that hand will always remind him of what not to do.
Okay, someone is saying she accidentally slashed the boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, if it's accidental, then I'm tempted to believe, okay, an accident in that regard, fair, right? But to have the thinking and the conviction, and I'll be a bit. That's why.
Let me tell you one secret about me.
For me,
I get overly agitated.
It's not a secret anymore.
In fact, it's still a secret because I've not said what it is. When you tickle me, it is so terrible I could harm you. I'm serious.
Please.
I get so agitated when you tickle me. I pierced a boy with pen back in school. He's called Sakifio.
Why you are exhibiting violent tendencies?
No, I'm not exhibiting, but because the point is that do not do it. Do not do it. I'm uncomfortable. It's getting me agitated. I just turned and then ram. He was just lucky. The luckiest of all of them, may so rest in peace, Ato Middleton Mains. Ato was sitting right behind me at church service, and he knew this thing about me. Oh, Ato, I'll just be giggling like that because I don't want to make noise. I'll be punished with him. So I couldn't contain it. But what could I do? So for me, if you kept on doing something like that, my reaction is not based on logic. I'm just like, why are you being so irrational?
Motor reaction?
It's anything at all can happen.
As much as I can understand and appreciate, I also think, there are certain limits, right? Certain limits which
you haven't reached there.
So that is for the part of the female student. Now for the male student too, who is accused of doing this, I think there are some lessons we can learn from it.
Absolutely.
And then tracing it back to the school and the home. If what the paper is reporting is true, that he did it repeatedly, then it seeks to say that this is not the first time something like this is happening.
Yeah, possibly.
This is not the first time the boy is doing something like this. And we know how children now are, how they want to explore things, do things. I'm sure something like this has come to the school authorities before. A lady has gone to say that, say, this boy has tagged me, I don't like it. Yeah. And then they treated it some way.
They could have done that,
They did not necessarily put their foot down and then warn the boy, advise him, punish him not to do things like this again. And I'm also quite certain that before this gets to school, something sort of related to this may have happened at home. Or some complaints may have come to the parents of the boy in relation to something like this, and they may not have handled it properly. So if the boy keeps doing things like this and is not warned, he's not corrected, he's not punished to stop it once and for all, this is some of the things we're looking at. And it goes beyond, these concerns we're having. Fine, this did not happen to the boy. He was not slashed with a machete and all of that. This boy grows up, leaves GHS, gets into SHS, and then begins to think that, well, I can have my way by go about attacking people.
Yeah, you should teach boys to keep their hands to themselves.
So it's a two-way something. We should be advising parents, school authorities to be very careful about some of these things, because if they are not treated well,
it could lead to something
child
more
grows, and then I'm not saying him, but stories like this, you grow, and then by the time you realize you're growing a rapist in your home, in your school, and some of them will start.
No means no.
Some of them will start with these things. So I think it's
There's a newspaper here called Business Weekly. Business Weekly says that fuel prices to record one of Ghana's biggest recent declines as petrol, diesel, and LPG costs fall from July 1. Yeah. Also, Accra floods paralyzed Ghana's economic heartland as government edges work from home and supply chain collapse. And the World Bank raises Ghana's 2026 economic growth forecast to 4.5%, signaling stronger than expected pest crisis recovery. I hope I'm getting a pest. So the banner headline says, surviving inflation and now floods. So that is Business Weekly.
I think I'll go to the Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Which says NDC national chair race. Upon Fosu leads in early polls.
Where are the polls coming from? No, I'm not seeing any
picture there. But where are the polls coming from? The Inquisitor. But I think Upon Fosu is the GIPC chairman.
Oh, oh, really? Yeah?
Yes. And then I also see there Cocoa Board doles out 2.6 billion Ghana cedis to settle farmers. And that's contrary to their earlier promise of about 6 billion Ghana cedis owed farmers, which their spokesperson in an interview promised would be sorted in June. Otumfo to celebrate Akwesidae at US in August. And we have NPA engages retail outlets tank.
The new publisher.
I'll take you to the Ghanaian Times newspaper, but before that, there's an interesting article on page 4 of the Daily Guide. Why can't Ghanaians be on time? Why can't Ghanaians be on time in Ghana? I think it's interesting if anybody wants to read it.
Look, we actually have something. GMT has been turned to Ghana man time. we have accepted we are late.
They say the Greenwich Meridian Time, people describe it as Ghana mean time. People say the Ghana man time. And it's interesting. The Ghanaian Times this morning, it says that coalition calls for review of civilian gun license revocation on page 14. It comes to the page of Adib Sani, executive director of the Jakite Center. ECOWAS chairman consoles Ghana over deadly floods on page 13. Okay, well, we like that. Do something about South Africa as well. Otun 432, the second names Nanama Bonsu as 15th Asante Hema on page 13. GHS steps up malaria fight as rain set in. Upper West police intercept 50,000 ammunition. 3 suspects arrested. Also, banner headline: Sakomono Lagoon under siege. Indiscriminate dumping turns wetland into landfill. You go to the back page. Promote professionalism. Fairness, discipline. Immigration commanders urge Lada Dekotopon MP commissions 2 bridges for the community. And just picking up from the Sakomono Lagoon and the siege story, as the indiscriminate dumping has turned a wetland into a landfill. There's a message that I've received this morning, and it is related to a place around Odumase, in Sakin Odumase. It's under the Ablekuma area. Now, what is happening is that the tricycles we're talking about this morning, they line up at a particular landfill. The landfill is over the brim. It is.
I'm not sure Odumase is. It's
okay,
Oduman.
Oduman, right? I see. In Sakina, Oduman. Okay.
Where would that be?
Oh, when from Ablekuma, when you are going towards Afuaman, I know the place.
Yeah,
I know the place.
The authorities there pay attention. There's a landfill that people are not managing well at all.
In Sakina, Oduman. In Sakina, Oduman. Whoever their authorities are, this morning we are telling you. I think that is in the Gan West Municipal Assembly. That we have received reports that Aboboya riders
are dumping
refuse
indiscriminately. The landfill is full. In fact, the person is telling me that. So she was on a video call with her husband, and they had queued like that. I have witnessed it before. They queue like that, blocking the road. You go to talk to them. It's like you almost have to beg them to make way for you to go. And then they were throwing rubbish on the road, dropping them everywhere. Care. And then the person says that they thought she was recording them because it was on a video call, and they almost hit her with a stick. Wow. So it's something that they should be careful about.
In Sakina, Oduman.
Yes.
Good morning, Ghana Police.
Fix it before we come there. Whoever the assembly members
I think this week we need to dedicate a special day to talk purely about waste management in this country, particularly in the capital Accra.
Because
you recall last week
all this waste from the floods.
Last week,
where are they going?
Last week there was a message that came through about waste management that at Dansuman, the big waste collecting vehicles, the waste trucks, they stopped coming because they said the rains was disturbing. When that happens, you are forced to give it to tricycle operators because you can't keep the rubbish at home. In fact, when I was coming to work this morning, I realized that East Airports, on all of these very nice estates and things, when you're Manette, East Airport, Mayfair Estate, behind Mayfair Estate, those are the areas I use. People had their rubbish collectors outside full. Nobody has come for it yet.
Yeah.
Right? Who is collecting the waste? Where is the waste being taken to? These are very important questions.
When the waste is collected, where is it sent?
When it's not collected by these big trucks, and I lived at Afuaman for 8 years, you beg. You call the waste collectors, you will be begging on the phone. They will not come for the waste. You pay monthly, you don't miss.
Yes.
They will not come for it. And then you are forced to give it to tricycle operators because
so we're saying
the waste is there.
Government just needs to regulate
The
these
waste is there.
tricycle operators.
How will you? I mean, you can't live with the filth in your house
Because it's also a form of employment. Because look, if these guys, right, were not collecting waste, let's call a spade a spade. As much as they do things indiscriminately and they appear unruly, if these guys were not employed, were not doing what they are doing now, what would they be doing? What jobs or opportunities has government created for these guys? So I think it's important that when we have that conversation, we also look at it from a perspective where government regularizes them well and integrate them within the waste management value chain or ecosystem.
Yeah. For me, I think the monopoly of the waste management is too bad. So we allow.
People hate Manessa for that. People hate Manessa Azuri for that.
No, even that contract has been abrogated. There is no one man or one company responsible.
It's not been
In
opened.
fact,
it's not been opened up.
What
publicly
happened was that when the contract was abrogated, the municipalities and districts are to take care in terms of contractual arrangements, find persons who can take care of the waste. What has happened to that?
We're just a bunch of jokers.
Because I'm telling you that on my way to work this morning, in fact, it was the only thing that made me speak, because from when I left the house outside of good morning to the the rider, the only words I muttered until I got here and I started was, these guys, their waste have not been collected, and all of them, their baller is outside.
Yeah.
Like I was just telling myself, and I said it out loud. Those were the only words until I got
There's a
here.
looming health crisis.
It is.
How these tricycle operators because if the landfill is filled to the brim and they still have to collect the waste, they have to dispose the waste off.
Yes.
So the adapter strategy, they would go and they'll see some road somewhere, they'll park for a day or two, just to let people think that maybe there's a problem with the tricycle.
Just tip it over.
By the time I realize the waste is there, the tricycle is not there again. And then this Nsaki Oduman thing, when people are building their houses there, because the landfill there's no space for them, when they line up like that, if you have a plot with a wall, but you have not, finished building, they will just flip the thing, put the refuse on your plot, and then move away. So it's not something that is happening recently. It is something that has been a trend for a very long time at the Nsaki Oduman area.
You should use the Wija to McCarthy Road
around Ablekuma. I think it's a cause of concern.
See a long
which place is this again? Is it McCarthy?
It's the same. Yeah.
No, the same place we were mentioning.
Yes,
is it Oduman?
Yes, the Nsaki Oduman thing around. So Gar West Municipal Assembly.
It's under Gan West. I mean, I've lived there, so I know.
Around communities, Mahia, Ablekuma, and Amasaman.
It's Gan West.
Sites have been taking over. The assemblies, again, they call it rezoning. So landfill sites have been converted into.
No, do we even
residential
have
areas.
landfill sites in every assembly?
Yes, we had a lot of them in this country. Go even from when you're heading towards Pong. That is where Zoom Lion has one of the landfill sites. People have come to build houses there, estates there, industries there, and the landfill site is there. And he's done, that's a beautiful job. It looks like there's a green carpet over the whole stretch. So gradually they're draining it out, and the bad water is been seeping. I don't know where they're going to dump it, but it looks beautiful. But my point is that why do we allow people to build around landfill sites, forgetting that there wouldn't be anywhere for us to dump the refuse? Point again is, we don't have any mechanism to say that we are transforming the waste into anything else besides the one we have at recycle. We don't have it. There's one at on the Mochi Road, also by Zoom Lion. You get it, where they carry the waste and then try to churn it into something else and all that. But my point is that it has to be something holistic. If we don't do that, most people will it will get to a point like the airport people you're referring to. you don't know where to take your refuse.
No.
People start dumping it close there and then be burning it.
My refuse was not picked yesterday.
Yeah.
It's picked on a Monday mostly.
Yeah.
And so the bin is full.
Yeah.
And nobody has come for it.
Yeah.
I fall within that same.
Yeah. The danger is that we use a lot more plastics and bottles instead of
me,
paper.
My, and I'm speaking for me, right?
Yes.
My plastic bottles, there's a special bag
But then we have glass bottles. We have can.
You know.
And we have polythene.
And Kojo Fiagbe says that he resides at Nsakino Dumasi, and I'm sure he's going to corroborate this story. Kojo, tell us what the situation is when it comes to waste collection and disposal by these tricycle operators. The people on the road is not good. Now, Bola people go. What kind of double wahala is this?
Right.
Yes. So the newspapers. Yes. So the graphic business this morning says insurers brace for 500 million Ghana cedi shock. Industry liquidity to be tested. Motor sector most exposed. And then inflation rises sharply to 5.3% in June. And finally, Ghana risks losing mining investment amid fiscal concerns. So that's the graphic business for today.
I think we can get into a bit more in terms of the details, right? Because
we have Economy Times.
Okay, just do a few of those ones and then.
So Economy Times says that up to 500 million Ghana cedi insurance claims expected from Accra flood damage. And then stocks reclaim attention on Ghana's financial markets as GSE, that is Ghana Stock Exchange, delivers 66% return. And then business grouping asks government for tax reforms as part of the mid-year budget review. So that is the Economy Times for today.
There's the Metro Lens, and on the banner headline we have Ochehene looking regal, and he says Accra floods, warning to all. And then we also see Frank Anodompre, the minority chief whip. He says, don't mortgage Ghana's future for carbon cash. Anodompre warns government. For page 9, there's a story on protect wetlands to curb flooding. Professor Weafe Deborah urges science-backed action. And our coach resigns as Black Stars coach.
Well, that's up for debate because on the back page of the Daily Graphic,
it's been a very controversial one.
The story by Morris Kwanzaa in Kansas City says Queiroz set for contract extension after brief World Cup stint. So it doesn't look like he's one who is going to be out of the picture any soon. He might be there for a while.
Premature to. I think it would be a premature eviction.
Well, for me, I have no problem if he resigns. I'll be happy if he resigns.
Why?
So
for one or two reasons.
On the we've been talking about waste disposal. We have a national solid waste management strategy for Ghana. It's a policy document as of June 2020. It was done by the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources. That's a policy document.
Madam Dapa.
Yes. Then there is a national plastics management policy as well.
You know, no matter how well intentioned.
You see, I'm going over them, not that...
Oh, yes, just so that people can understand
that
it's not that the regulatory framework is
but we are not
place.
seeing the thing play out. So we are going to pore over this and then we'll find the essential bits and pieces. Perhaps it will help us, it will point us into directions as to why things are the way they are and who we should be asking what. I know a huge chunk will fall on the local government ministry as well because that story in page 3, for instance, says we can't solve climate crisis without waste infrastructure financing. Suggests if you don't deal with waste, the entire debate as to climate and all of that is a waste of everybody's time.
But we've seen the waste during these floods.
Yes.
And some of us are asking, like, where is it going to? How are we going to manage this waste? I think it's a perfect opportunity to allow private sector and government, collaboration. And we're not talking about a monopolistic private sector. We are talking about the likes of bar stop boys who are on the ground and showing work. We are seeing them do things on their own. It's been an awesome journey with them so far. Strong social intervention that they have going on. So what are we doing to empower some of these organizations that are already leading the charge? Are we going to continue applauding them in our individual capacities, or government is going to do something more substantial for them? Are they going to train them to better understand the technicalities of waste management so they can perform better? Are they going to be supplied machinery, equipment, and so on and so forth? So it's a conversation that must be had, the waste management bit, because if we don't, it becomes a recipe for another crisis.
And we keep producing the waste. If we don't get a place to dispose the waste of, we'll find a place to put the waste, and the place we'll find will not be a good place. Eventually, we'll put them at places we should not put them. We'll put them in the gutters. It will rain. We'll suffer.
What it comes off us is that there's no synergy, there's no connection. Everybody is doing whatever it is that they are doing apart. So the local government, and mind you, this Friday and Saturday is national cleaning.
Yeah, but is it a holiday?
It's not
a holiday. But the point is that we have to be specific about these
who
things.
advised the president to take that decision?
I have no idea who did. Maybe
because it's
Friday
not a holiday.
Saturday.
I mean, it would have been awesome if we did that on the Republic holiday.
Yeah.
But
even if it is pushed,
it would have made a lot of sense if we did that on the Republic holiday.
Yeah,
but our cemeteries included in the cleanup exercise. Our cemeteries included.
We're introducing a different aspect
our
of
graveyards,
the
our various graveyards. Are they part of the cleanup exercise?
No, I think those are managed by assemblies. And assemblies, because before you bury, there are necessary monies which I think we've had this conversation. They are managed, and so persons are expected to take care of those places, to weed and keep it clean, and so that falls directly within the remit of whichever assembly this plays out in.
But may I just sign this, because the point is that, look,
there's a reason.
If we say Friday, Saturday is for cleaning for who? If it's not a holiday and I don't show up at work and I say the president says I should clean up, so I was cleaning, what are my employers going to say? So let us just be straightforward and say that we want 2 days off. Meanwhile, other organizations are claiming that 2 days is not enough for the cleanup.
2 days from the flood.
Oh yeah.
We like cosmetic things too much.
So either make it a holiday, sound it, let everybody know.
We like cosmetic things too much.
Give us 3 days.
What would the 2 days cleanup? What massive? Look, we are looking for long-term solutions. So, Mr. President, have you experienced flood where it was up to your waist? Miracles, Abuaji's own was up to his neck. Mine was up to my waist. Mr. President, we want a comprehensive, sustainable approach. We want to understand how Garrett funds were used. Why were Garrett funds used for COVID initiatives? Initiative that has nothing to do with flooding. And we hear you say you are giving us a 2-day holiday.
It's not a holiday even. We are not clear on that. I hear it's just 2 days
it's not holiday. It's just
cleaning.
a 2-day cleaning exercise.
Mr. President, please come
sometimes
again.
we need to. Let me just quickly touch on online, Ghana Web, and then we just...
Right, there are a few of the online portals as well.
And so it says on Ghana Web this morning, it says, watch as Nana Akufo-Addo sheds tears of joy after court confirms him as Christo Osafo's successor.
But let me ask, what happens to Osibo, the Zara man?
What happened
with regards to this particular Christo Osafo?
Why?
Some.
But who is he?
That is why the late Professor Atamils said that Ziwufie Asem.
Yes.
Ziwufie Asem.
He is the Safo family, the Kantanka family's version of, Kantanka's family version of Papa Shi.
Let me make this disclosure. Good morning, Osibo. I mean, while you're busy, highlighting some of these issues. Whilst he's busy highlighting some of these issues on people's family, The Johnson family says good morning. I mean, I'm a very close relative to the Johnson family. And when the Johnson family says good morning, Osebo, I hope you understand. Try and remedy your shortcomings. Good morning, Osebo.
So let's continue with the Ghana web stories. Convicted fraudster Chad arrested after 7 years on the run. Oh, wow. And then the 159-year record Asante has broken with the selection of Amma Bonsu as Asante Hema. Female JHS students allegedly slashes schoolmates with cutlass over repeated breastfeeding. And then High Court order was vague. Larry Dogbe challenges contempt conviction that was placed on him. No official resignation.